everyone, my name is Mayhart Loto, a first-year college student at Western Philippines University under College of Arts and Sciences, taking Bachelor of Science in Social Work Section 1B. In this video, I will be presenting our research study entitled Effect of Modular Learning Approach, the Academic Performance of the Students of El Nido National High School. Modular learning is a form of learning that uses self-learning modules based on the most essential learning competencies provided by DepEd. The modules include sections on motivation and assessment that serve as a complete guide of both teachers and students' desired competence. Modular teaching approach is an extension and advanced shape of program instruction or learning. The trend of using modules as teaching learning approach is becoming very popular in recent times. In this approach, the teacher uses teaching modules prepared for specific purposes instead of traditional textbook. In the Philippines, this learning modality is currently used by all public schools because according to a survey conducted by the Department of Education or the DepEd, learning through printed and digital modules emerged as the most preferred distance learning method of parents with children who enroll this academic year. This is also in consideration of the learners in rural areas where internet is not accessible for online learning. The researchers decided to conduct this study to determine the effect of modular learning approach to the academic performance of the grade 12 senior high school students of El Nido National High School. This study was conducted to determine whether modular learning is effective or not. There are different kinds of teaching approaches. Here are discussed only two, the traditional and modular approaches. In traditional approach, lecture method is considered as a traditional approach. According to Sharif Khan and Akbar of 1997, it is very historical. History goes back to period when there was no printing and knowledge are communicated by the teacher to the students orally. The teacher depended upon his memory and transmitted the knowledge orally to his students. Training conferences criticized them. Research proves inadequacies, yet lecturing and demonstrating are still probably widely used methods of all in an adult education. Kenna of 1989 observes that in recent years, lecture has been disregarded and maligned by some educators. Much empirical research has been amassed to show shortcomings of the lectures and instructional vehicle. Lecture method is an effective means of conveying information on any topic. Lectures could prove very effective to create enthusiasm and excitement about the field. It is also useful for large classes. However, it is a great disadvantage of traditional approach that in this approach, it is assumed that students are empty vessels and the teacher will fill them by his or her knowledge. According to Ambayon's research of 2020, modular instruction is more effective in the teaching learning method when compared to traditional teaching techniques. It is because students know at their own pace with this modular approach. According to study.com, some significant challenges to blended learning models include the expense of technology, inadequate training, technological issues, the need to adapt content for blended learning, decreased motivation, and weakened relationships between students and teachers. The first step that the researchers did was determining the respondents from the population under random sampling. The respondents were all grade 12 students from El Nido National High School from different rank and strand. We have respondents from General Academic Strand or GAS, Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics or STEM, Accountancy, Business and Management or ABM, and Technology, Vocational and Livelihood or TVL. The next step is the data collection procedure. The study was conducted virtually through social media platforms and Facebook Messenger as the medium of the data collection procedure because personal or face-to-face interview is not allowed during the time of the conduct of the research study. The researchers privately messaged the target respondents. The questionnaire was sent privately to the respondents who agreed to participate. The data gathered was organized and tabulated for statistical treatment. The data were treated in percentage. We used the formula PR is equal to F divided by N multiplied by 100%, where percent stands for the percentage, F stands for the frequency, N stands for the total number of respondents, and 100 is the constant value. All the data gathered by the instrument were tallied, tabulated, analyzed, and interpreted accordingly. The research paradigm consists of the input, process, and output. The input of the study are the effects of modular learning approach to the students of El Nido National High School. Meanwhile, the process is through survey and questionnaire, and the output is the academic performance of the students of El Nido National High School. The research study was to answer the following questions. Number 1, how many hours do the respondents spend in answering one module? Number 2, in the scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is the lowest and 10 is the highest, rate the learning that the respondents obtained through modular learning. Number 3, how difficult is modular learning? And number 4, do the respondents ready to enter college? Number 5, which is more convenient, modular learning approach or face-to-face studying? And lastly, number 6, what is the effect of modular learning approach to the academic performance of the respondents? Moving forward to the results and discussion, for the number 1 question, how many hours do the respondents spend in answering one module? 43% of the respondents spends more than 5 hours. 34% spends 2 to 3 hours. 14% spends 3 to 4 hours, and 9% spends 4 to 5 hours. For the second question, which I mentioned earlier, 41% of the respondents rate their learning to 5, 18% to 8, 13% to 7 and 6, 10% to 3, and 5% to 4. The next question, how difficult is the modular learning? More than half or 58% of the respondents find modular learning very difficult. 35% find it difficult, 6% find modular learning as not that much difficult, and 1% find modular learning easy. Fourth question, do the respondents ready to enter college? 67.50% are not yet ready, 22.50% are ready, and 10% are still undecided. Number 5 question, which is more convenient, modular learning approach or face-to-face studying? 97.50% finds face-to-face studying more convenient, and the other 2.50% finds modular learning more effective. For the last question, what is the effect of modular learning approach to the academic performance of the respondents? 62% stated that they are not gaining enough knowledge. 24% stated that it caused them to be less serious and it caused laziness. 5% stated that it caused confusion and doubt in their answers, and the other 9% became more diligent. The primary beneficiary of this research are the students. The findings in this study will enable them to determine and create ways to cope up with the current situation. Next is the parents. It will allow them to understand the efforts and struggles of their children in answering their modules. This can serve as a driving force for the parents to be more supportive towards their children. It also benefits the teachers. This study will serve as an eye-opener of the situation of the students whilst answering their module. Lastly, for the teachers to realize the impact of their actions to the students. This research consists of grade 12 senior high school students only, meaning to say, the data from other students such as those who are in grade 11 and lower years are not included. This study is a qualitative research that uses descriptive research design, and since it is conducted virtually, there is no cost and fundings. The researchers therefore conclude that students spend more than 5 hours in answering one module. Modular studying is very difficult. Some are ready to enter college and many are not. 5 out of 10 is the rate of students learning through printed modules. Face-to-face studying is more convenient, and lastly, modular learning impacts how students learn. The researchers would like to acknowledge everyone who made this research possible. To our dear God for giving us the knowledge and strength to finish this study. To our parents for the never-ending support and motivation. To our teachers for guiding us throughout this research journey. To our dear respondents for being a part and answering the questions. And lastly, to our friends and classmates who made this journey enjoyable and unforgettable.